I want to go into a little bit more detail on the video that I made the other day showing you how you can like be more present. And someone was asking me questions about what Eckhart Tolle was saying. And I'm glad that you did, because this is like a kind of a difficult part if you're not used to feeling the emotions in your body, especially if you're very cerebral in your head a lot. So I know, let's talk about the emotions in the body. Like, we're all aware of certain sensations in the body, right? Like the sensation of thirst and hunger, and the sensation of having to go to the bathroom, or um, exercising, all these sensations. Um, and yet, there's a deeper level of sensation that has to do with our awareness. There's also a place of almost like no sensation, like when you're looking at something beautiful, or a sunset, or the stars, or nature, and you forget to think. You're just in the moment. Um, Kind of to start being aware of increasing awareness is also a couple other things that go with that. One is being aware of our thoughts, which is realizing that I'm not my thoughts. Sometimes it seems like our thoughts are so real because they come through us and we believe them, even if they're wrong and not helping us. So, this over identification with thoughts, and that's where like cognitive behavioral therapy is really good, because they kind of make you go, oh, you're catastrophizing. This is black and white thinking, and you're fortune telling, and all this. And people are like, whoa. Or Byron Katie with, is this thought real? So there are techniques that people can use to help them gain more awareness instead of being so identified with the thoughts. Okay, so that's one part you have to know, because the thoughts that we have, the more we have them, the more they become part of our identity. And if the thoughts are really negative, they can actually bring us down. And thoughts that we tell ourselves can affect our moods. So, for example, if you're laying in bed at night and you're perfectly safe, it's quiet, and you have all these thoughts, you're worried about something that's going to happen tomorrow, what you're going to say to someone tomorrow. And so you start worrying, and now you're woken up, and now you're filled with anxiety, because your thoughts can make you anxious, or they can make you be worried about yourself, or they can make you take you out of the moment. And often people have thoughts where they're worried about, oh my God, is this person going to hire me? Did they like me in the interview? And then you find out you get hired. So the thoughts are not really helping, or like going over and over, like people call it masturbating on your thoughts, where you're like, why didn't he call me? Why didn't he call me? What could it be? What did this? And what is this? And what is this? And you're spinning the story, and you're completely out of the moment in your own fabricated story, that is not bringing you forward. So that's just being aware of your thoughts. Now, the other part, and this is what is like a harder part too, is to be aware of the emotions in your body. So, for example, you might notice before you get irritated, when you get irritated, anger is one feeling that'll just come up, zhoosh, and it takes us over, kind of like a gremlin, Eckhart Tolle was saying. I'm going to link that video here at the top. Like a gremlin just comes out of you. Or say that you have a certain habit that you want to stop. Like, say that you want to give yourself a couple moments before you grab that cookie, or before you grab your phone. Say you want to give yourself a couple moments. It's called the time gap. It requires an awareness of when you have that sensation of wanting to grab the phone, or wanting to turn on the TV, or wanting to get that cookie, because people are not even aware of what's going on in their body, that the anger is rising or the annoyance is rising, and all of a sudden off they go, and they have no awareness till they're already in the middle of eating, or they're already yelling at someone. Then they go, oh, wait, I wasn't going to react like that. So, in order to start practicing this kind of more self-awareness, is you take something really easy. I try to practice when I'm in the mood for it on like some of the comments people leave for me, or some different things. But let's say that you want a good time to practice this is when you're in a safe place at home where you're not in danger, and you can practice with something like he was talking about, turning on the TV. You can even do it with grabbing your phone. Just pick a thing that you want to have more awareness of and start practicing the time gap. Something that you want to change, like say you're in the habit of grabbing your phone a lot. This is something that I do. And you want to introduce this time gap idea to gain a little bit more presence instead of just acting so impulsively, is to start noticing when that feeling comes up of wanting to turn on the phone, wanting to go to the phone. And so you have to have that thing that you want to be aware of, and then you have to have that awareness, because I bet you whatever you do, you'll be grabbing your phone, and as soon as you're on your phone, then you'll be like, oh, I was going to wait 2 minutes before I grabbed my phone. So eventually you will start to have the awareness of when I want to grab my phone, but it'll still be an irresistible pull, like I just have to grab my phone. And to just be with that sensation, that's the thing. To notice the sensation that comes up, when you're irritated or you're annoyed or you want to do something that you don't really want to do, is just to be with that sensation in your body, to be with that awareness, and to just be with it, to feel it in your body. And instead of trying to push it away, it could be some boredom or some irritability or some discomfort that makes people grab for their phone or grab for that cookie. And instead, it's just being with that feeling, being with that sensation in the body. And like what I do with people when I coach them through it is to be like, the energy is already there. You don't have to push it away. It's okay. You can just let it be there. What does it feel like in your body? Where is it in your body? And people will describe it. It'll be like a heavy black box, or it feels like a burning sensation, or like a spiral, whatever it feels like for you. And then it's like, okay, just be with that spiral or be with that black box. And you're going inward into your own body where that energy is. And then you just kind of go inside yourself and you want to just go inside of it. Whether it's your loneliness or inside of your heart, you just go inside that place in your body, and you will notice that this energy will start to shift. It'll start to shift. So it's a presence practice. It's really hard to do because a lot of times people don't want to stop and slow down. You have to really want to do this. It's kind of like a meditative practice. Another really good way to do it, if you can't think of an example, is to just sit still, no phone, no videos, no audio. You just find a place and you sit still for like a minute. If a minute is easy, you can try 2 or 3 or 5. And you sit there, and most people will not want to just sit there. They will want to grab something, get up. There's this restlessness that can come up. Boredom or restlessness, and you just be with that sensation. If you feel like moving your body because you're restless, you can move your body. But just be with the sensation, notice the sensation, allow the sensation to be there. And that's what will release it, actually, and give you more awareness of your body. But what makes this practice super hard is having the awareness of the feeling, having the awareness of your thoughts, knowing I'm not my thoughts. I think I'm my thoughts, but I'm not my thoughts. They're just coming through me, and I can actually change my thoughts. I can choose which thoughts I want to have more than other thoughts. This is not to gaslight you. This is not about spiritual bypassing, you guys. Spiritual bypassing is like, okay, I have this energy in my body and I'm just going to ignore it and pretend I'm happy. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about being with what is, but also not believing all your thoughts, because a lot of our thoughts are just the same thoughts we had yesterday, and they got us to where we are. And some thoughts are useful and some are not. So just examine them. I hope I explained this well. You might want to listen to it a few more times to kind of really get the concept. You might also want to look up somatic experiencing. There are a lot of different teachers who teach this method of being with the sensation in your body. Another thing that you can do is right now is to just put your awareness inside your hands and feel your hands, not by feeling them, but just put your hands, just feel them. Just bring your awareness to your hands. And, as much as the religions say our bodies are the temple of sin or whatever, our bodies are also the gateway to um, a presence. Going inside the body, and I think it's spiritual bypassing and gaslighting to just ignore the body, because we are, I believe, spiritual beings in physical form, and the body is a gateway to presence and peacefulness, because all this energy is stuck in the body. We are in the body. We are in the body. I do not know how to do this if you actually have physical pain and stuff. I'm not very good with physical pain, but if you're just comfortably sitting in your home, this is a really good practice. And this practice is how I actually got rid of my loneliness. I was feeling really lonely after I got divorced, and I was also afraid to go inside my heart. I was afraid of what I would find there if I felt my heart. And one night I was just sad. This was a few years ago. And I'm like, God, I'm going to put my awareness inside my heart. And I thought it would be dark and black in there. I was so afraid to feel it. And I thought, what the heck? I have nothing to lose. I'm just going to jump in there, kind of mentally speaking. And I went inside my heart, and I was no longer afraid of my heart. But the big change was when I jumped into this black pit in my belly, which is what my loneliness felt like. It's like, I feel so lonely. Okay, where do I feel my loneliness? I felt it in my belly. What does it look like and feel like? Well, it felt like, to me, like this black pit that terrified me. So I'm like, okay, here I go, Sharzad. I'm just going to jump in, metaphorically speaking, bring my awareness, just jump in. That one took 5 seconds. I just brought my awareness into that black pit, and everything released, and I have not been lonely since. I have not felt that loneliness since. Now, some people I've done this with have felt a lot of peace. Some people say it didn't help them at all. It didn't help them at all with their fear or their worry or their anxiety. It didn't help them at all. So, I practice this a lot with a lot of people, and some people, when they went inside the energy in their body and what it felt like, they went inside themselves for like 30 or 45 minutes, and it was very interesting because they were just in their own experience inside themselves, but then that energy was still there. So I'm not really sure if they just had to do more sessions with it, or if their thoughts were also causing a lot of their anxiety. Because I know with one person I work with that it was definitely her thoughts that kept causing her a lot of anxiety. But if you have anxiety, your emotions also give rise to your thoughts, and your thoughts influence your emotions. So it's kind of like a loop thing. And sometimes it's good to just be with what is, and other times it's good to be like, I'm not going to wallow in this. I'm going to take some action. What is the next indicated step that I need to do now? But as far as the time gap, that is a method that they use in some addiction treatment programs, where it's not the abstinence program, it's a harm reduction program. And what they tell you, when you have the urge to take that drink, you wait. You wait, because your urge will go stronger and stronger and stronger. But just be with that urge. You can use it for cigarettes or candy, whatever. Just be with that urge. Just be with that feeling. Let it crest, let it crest. Just be with it. Don't act on it. And then you'll notice that the urge will subside. The urge will actually subside, and you don't want that cigarette or that drink or that candy anymore. That actually can happen where it subsides. So that's another place where you can be with that urge. You feel that urge. So really, if you just want to start out with this, if you're still listening this far, is just start noticing what's going on in your body as you go throughout the day. You can just start noticing it a little bit, especially if you're trying to deal with reactivity or compulsive behaviors or things that annoy you. It's like, okay, let me just be with that. It creates a lot of clearing. And once you've cleared it, now you can act from a very powerful place to decide how you want to deal with the situation, because you're not coming from this reactive place. You're coming from a calm, powerful place, and it's a lot easier to make decisions then. So that's kind of the idea of that. I hope that I explained it well, and thank you for watching my video.